The world's most powerful military has a secret spaceship. It's been circling Earth for years, and it just launched again. I don't mean a capsule you ride in or a satellite that follows a predictable path. I mean a reusable, robotic spaceplane that launches vertically inside a rocket, can stay in orbit for years, conducting missions in total secrecy, and then re-enter the atmosphere and land itself on a runway like an airplane. Well, it's not a what-if, it's real. It's called the X-37B, and it just launched again. On a fiery pillar of smoke and power, the U.S. Space Force's most enigmatic asset rocketed back into the silent darkness of low Earth orbit. Housed inside the nose cone of a Falcon rocket, this winged ghost was delivered to the heavens to begin its 8th official mission. But this isn't just another launch. In an era of renewed great power competition, where space is seen as the ultimate high ground, the secrets this vehicle carries are pushing the absolute boundaries of what's possible. Today, we're going beyond the headlines. We'll break down the incredible, officially stated goals of this mission, tech that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. But more importantly, we're going to dive deep into the speculation, connecting the dots and reading between the lines. What is this ghost-like vehicle really doing up there for years on end? Is it a simple testbed for science, an advanced spy, or the precursor to something else entirely? Stick around, because this story is about the future of navigation, communication, and maybe even warfare in the final frontier. So what exactly is the X-37B? Its story actually began under NASA in 1999 as a civilian project, but its potential was quickly recognized, and it was absorbed into the secretive world of the Pentagon's Advanced Research Arm, DARPA, before being handed over to the Air Force and now the Space Force. Imagine a miniature, uncrewed version of the old NASA space shuttle, about a quarter of the size. It's built by Boeing, powered by deployable solar panels, and there are 2 of them in the fleet. Together, they've already spent a combined total of over 11 years in orbit, silently circling the globe on missions that have grown progressively longer and more ambitious. For this latest mission, the Space Force has actually been unusually open about a couple of the experiments on board, and they are absolute game changers. First up, quantum navigation. Right now, you, me, and the entire modern world are addicted to GPS. Our phones, global financial markets, our planes, our military, everything relies on the faint, precise timing signals from those satellites. But what happens if those signals are jammed, spoofed, hacked, or even physically destroyed in a conflict? We've already seen GPS jamming become a major factor in war zones like Ukraine, throwing off drones and missiles. The Space Force needs a backup, a plan B for navigation, a way for its most critical assets to operate in GPS-denied environments. Conventional backups, like the gyroscopes in your phone, all suffer from drift. Think of it like walking in a straight line with your eyes closed. You might start out perfectly, but tiny errors add up, and soon you're way off course. In space, after a few hours, way off course can mean missing your target by miles. The X-37B is testing what's called a quantum inertial sensor. Forget talking to satellites. Inside this box, lasers trap and chill a cloud of atoms to a whisper above absolute zero, colder than the deepest void of space. In this extreme state, the atoms become a perfect, frictionless compass, allowing the device to feel every turn and every nudge with unparalleled precision. It doesn't accumulate errors like a mechanical gyro. It feels its own movement through the fabric of space-time. It's completely self-contained, unaided navigation. This isn't just for Earth orbit. As humanity pushes back to the moon with the Artemis program and looks toward Mars, this is the kind of technology that could guide spacecraft on long journeys where there is no GPS. It's a fundamental leap in how we find our way through the cosmos, enabling true autonomy for both military and scientific missions. The second big experiment is all about speed and security, laser communications. Most satellites talk using radio waves, which is like trying to communicate across a battlefield with a giant floodlight. The light goes everywhere, anyone can see it, and it's easy to block or jam. Lasers are the upgrade. They're like a sniper rifle, sending a tight, invisible beam of data directly to its target and nowhere else. The jump in data rate is staggering. It's like the entire world has been using dial-up internet in space, and the X-37B is testing the first fiber optic connection. Laser links, or optical communications, can transmit massive amounts of data. Think hundreds of HD movies a minute. And because the beam is so narrow and focused, it's extremely difficult to eavesdrop or jam. The Space Force says the X-37B will be testing links with proliferated commercial satellite networks, which almost certainly means SpaceX's Starlink or the military-focused Starshield. This is a huge step towards building a faster, more resilient, and more secure internet in space for military operations, allowing for real-time command of drones and sharing of massive intelligence files from orbit to a soldier on the ground in seconds. Quantum navigation and space lasers are the public story, the incredible science they're willing to talk about. But the X-37B program has been defined by secrecy for a decade. The most groundbreaking experiments are almost certainly the ones we don't know about. So let's put on our speculation hats. What is the X-37B's real purpose? Unlike a normal satellite, which follows a predictable path, the X-37B can change its orbit significantly. It has flight surfaces and an engine. This makes it a wild card. Is it capable of flying up close to other countries' brand new secret satellites to inspect them, photograph them, or analyze their signals? Imagine the intelligence value of getting a detailed look at a rival's spy satellite before it's even fully operational. But it could go further. It has a payload bay, like a pickup truck bed. It has deployed small satellites on past missions. What if its mission is to disable an enemy satellite without firing a shot? This isn't about creating a debris field by blowing things up, which could trigger the dreaded Kessler syndrome and make orbit unusable for everyone. This is surgical. Imagine a robotic arm that delicately snips a vital antenna, or a spray that permanently blinds a rival spy camera. Its maneuverability makes it the perfect platform for such a mission. This is the ultimate game of orbital cat and mouse, a silent duel happening hundreds of miles above our heads, where a single wrong move, a nudge, a shadow, a burst of static could be interpreted as an act of war. The last X-37B mission lasted 909 days, almost 2.5 years. That's an incredibly long time to loiter in space. By changing its orbit, it could position itself over any hotspot on Earth to test next-generation surveillance sensors. We're talking about cameras, advanced radar systems that can see at night and through clouds, or even signals intelligence packages that can listen in on communications. The X-37B's real trump card is its reusability. A normal spy satellite is a one-shot deal. You launch it, and that's the technology you're stuck with for 15 years. Imagine a brand new sensor has a minor flaw. On a normal satellite, that's a billion-dollar write-off floating in space. With the X-37B, they land it, the engineers take the sensor back to the lab, fix the flaw, and fly it again 6 months later. This allows the Pentagon to rapidly develop and perfect new spy hardware at a pace no adversary can match. This theory combines a few ideas. First, responsive space. Launching a new satellite traditionally takes months or years of planning. What if you need eyes in the sky over a new crisis zone right now? An X-37B, already in orbit, could potentially be commanded to deploy a small, dedicated satellite exactly where it's needed, providing instant capability for disaster relief or military operations. Second, it could act as a sort of orbital repair truck or tugboat, Perhaps it could be used to refuel a high-value satellite or grab a friendly but malfunctioning one and move it to a safer orbit. Its capabilities open up a new world of on-orbit logistics that simply didn't exist before. But let's take it one step further into the shadows. Could it be an orbital weapons platform? The Pentagon's official line is a firm no, but its payload bay is the size of a pickup truck bed. Analysts have pointed out that it's theoretically large enough to house a weapon that could strike any target on Earth in under an hour. This is the most alarming possibility, and while there's no public evidence, the very existence of a vehicle like this keeps that terrifying question on the table. So, when you look at this mission, you see two stories unfolding at once. The public story is one of incredible innovation, of teaching an old dog new tricks. A spaceplane designed 15 years ago is now testing quantum physics and laser networking, technologies that were barely out of the lab back then. It's pushing the boundaries of science and exploration. But the secret story is one of strategic advantage in what the Pentagon now calls a warfighting domain. Quantum navigation to make your forces immune to GPS jamming, laser comms to move data securely and instantly, and a secret, reusable, maneuverable platform in orbit that can adapt to new threats and test the weapons and spy tools of tomorrow. The X-37B remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious objects we have ever put into space. It's a symbol of how the final frontier is no longer just for exploration, but is now a critical domain for national security and power. So I have to ask you, which story do you believe? Is the X-37B a brilliant scientific pathfinder, a tool for exploration? Or is it a silent predator, a weapon hiding in plain sight, practicing the opening moves for a war above our heads? Let me know your best theories down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Pentagon's ghost ship, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.